Good morning, you guys. Why did I just do that? Okay. Good morning, you guys. Hi. It's been a while since I did a video, since I filmed, since I vlogged, since I edited a video. I've actually been very busy. I've been finalizing my thesis. Just submitted my thesis to my advisor to be reviewed again, and now I'm just waiting for the results, and let's just pray to God that everything goes well and so that I can get into the thesis defense that I need to do, or whatever you call it. I don't even know. But anyways, I'm back. I'm actually excited that I'm almost done with uni. It's like the past 4 years have gone by so fast. Sometimes it feels a little bit longer than I thought, but honestly, in a bigger picture and in a bigger sense, I feel like the whole 4 years just went by so fast. I thought I was a freshman. I was a freshman in college, uni, whatever you want to call it, and now I'm graduating. That's just mind-boggling to me. So that's a little update on my uni journey. And today is May 31st. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'm turning 22. It's insane how fast things go right now. We're already halfway through the year. Hello, excuse me. Halfway through the year. I'm like, okay, I do know that the first 4 months of the year went by so long for me because I've been going through some stuff in the first 4 months of the year. But entering May and then going to be entering June tomorrow, I'm just, where did the time go? It's crazy. It's so crazy. But anyways, I really wanted to give you guys some reading updates because I haven't vlogged in a while. Even before I started to take my break for my thesis, I did have a couple of reading updates that I haven't actually talked about because I was originally working on a video. It was going to be a reading vlog, but I did not do that because unfortunately I had to stop midway, and I think just uploading it now would be, I don't know, I just think that it wouldn't be appealing anymore. Mentally, I feel like I've already scheduled for that video to be uploaded 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now because it has passed that date, I feel like it's irrelevant to even post it anymore. So instead, I'm just gonna give you guys some reading updates on this vlog. So let me go grab my books that I've read in the past month so that I can talk about it together. Got my books right here. There's a lot. I just noticed that there's lots of books in here. Okay, starting off. The lighting is so good right now. It's 7 a.m. and so it's so pretty. I love it. Okay, so starting off in the month of May, I don't remember which one I read first. I think I read this one first. Okay, so in the end of April, as we all know, Emily Henry came out with a new book, and I had to get it immediately. Look at how gorgeous it is. Just look at how gorgeous it is. If you guys saw my reel on Instagram, I posted about getting this book, and I was lucky enough to get the last copy that they had for the week, and it was the copy that I really wanted. This is the UK version, and I really wanted the UK version because I had Happy Place in the UK version, and I think it would be so cute side by side, and also because I just love the pop of color in this one, so it was pretty cute. Watching Haley. So reading. I'm reading Funny Story right now, and at the moment I am on page 54, which is not a lot. I'm only 50 pages in. This is my second day reading Funny Story. Yesterday I went to the hospital. I had to get a checkup because my cough is not going away, so I had like 3 hours to kill until I had to go in for the appointment. And so I started reading Funny Story, which was really fun. So far I'm loving it. basically the premise of this book is there's two main characters. The first main character, her name is Daphne. She had a fiance named Peter, and then the other main character, his name is, I forgot his name. His name is Miles, was in a relationship with a girl named Petra. Now, Peter and Petra, they are childhood best friends, and for some stinking reason, they decided to confess their love for each other during Peter's bachelor party. And after Peter came back from his bachelor party, he told Daphne that they're not in love anymore and that something happened between Peter and Petra, and that he confessed that they were in love with each other, and so they broke up. And so in this situation is that Daphne was living with her fiance and Miles was living with Petra, his girlfriend, and so they had to like move out. So Daphne moves out of the apartment, and then for some reason she decides to move in with Miles. And then one day they got an invitation for Petra and Peter's wedding. They got invited to their wedding, and so Daphne and Miles got super drunk, and they decided that, you know what, we're gonna go to the wedding, we're gonna RSVP and we're gonna go to the wedding. And so I'm only at that point of the book right now, but so far I really liked it. I think it is forced proximity, in a way fake dating as well, which I really like. I honestly just love Emily Henry's books because her books are just so lighthearted, so summery, and just like it has the perfect amount of romance, perfect amount of general fiction, which I love. So yeah, for that I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading this book.
Looking down from up in the sky, I don't quite get how I've been without you for all this time. Good God, I'm bent out of shape now. You got a body like a model. You got a body that you always find.
Okay, take 4. Today has not been the best day for me. I feel like I'm low in brain power, and I've refilmed, or like, I don't know, this is my 4th take on my review on Funny Story, so let's hope this works out. I just finished Funny Story by Emily Henry. My initial thoughts for this book: I loved it. I enjoyed reading this book. I loved the setting, I loved the people, I loved the premise of the book. I enjoyed reading the relationship between Miles and Daphne. I really liked how he was just like willing to jump into that fake relationship because he knew that Daphne needed the fake relationship thing to work in a way, you know. I don't really know how to describe it, but I'm more drawn towards the friendship rather than the relationship. I don't know why, but honestly, I just really appreciated Miles as a character, as a friend, as an individual. I really liked how his character developed throughout the story, and throughout the book, I was just like, well, I was reading about Miles. He was screaming acts of service. There's this like one specific scene where, this is no spoiler at all, where he comes to Daphne's place of work and just gave her a chai tea. Was it a chai tea or a chai latte? I'm not so sure, but he bought Daphne a chai beverage because he knows that that's her order. Can't even form words. Okay. It just shows how much he listened and how much he cared about what she was talking about and about her in general. Like, don't we just want that kind of friend who just listens to us and like remembers details that we wouldn't think to remember, honestly? Because I would love a friend like that. I honestly do. That's just so cute. While I was reading it, I was just like, he's such a good friend. He's such a good friend. Like, I did not expect him to be like the typical book boyfriend type of guy, you know. Like, I didn't really pin him to be like the perfect book boyfriend. It was really more of like the perfect book friend. I don't know. But anyways, that's enough about Miles. I love him. He is a really great guy character in a book. I really liked him. But then let's move on to Daphne, because I can relate to her in some levels. I can relate to her because first of all, we get introduced to Daphne, who is a librarian. She's a librarian. She's an introvert, and while I was reading through this book, I was just like, oh, okay. I understand how that feels. I can relate to that feeling. I understand what she's going through, you know? Because like there was moments where she was just like very honest about her feelings, and she was like talking about how friendship in her age is very hard, how making friends is hard, how socializing is different and it's hard, and how people are just like thriving in friendships, and she just couldn't understand how to do it because the people around her, they just know how to be social and how to be friends and how to be liked and just gets along with people, you know what I mean? And I can relate to that feeling to a T because I am not the biggest social butterfly. Like I'm really not. I'm an introvert. I prefer to be at home reading my books or like I love doing things by myself. Don't get me wrong, I love hanging out with my friends, but I don't know, as I've grown up, I've just really loved doing things by myself, just having solitude and all of that. And I feel like while I was reading this book, it really just like spoke to me in a way that it's like telling me like, yeah, it's okay to be alone, but then again, you need friends, you know? You need friends, you need to be social and all of that. And I think that, you know, it just validates, I feel like this book really just validates my feelings toward how hard friendship is. Like when you're not in high school or you're not in school anymore and you're just not like casually meeting new people or like meeting the same people over and over again, and you're just like, you have your whole life planned for the day and all of that, and it's like you schedule yourselves, you have things that you need to get done, and you have your whole life, and then there's like this idea of like you need to be social, you know, and it's just hard. Like I don't know how to, you know what? I'm rambling. Never mind. I love Emily Henry's books because it doesn't just focus on relationship like normal romance books does, because I've heard it been said, I forget who, but someone once said that they think that Emily Henry's books is not solely just a romance book, but they're more of like a women's fiction type of book. And I think it's like so real and honest and talks more about how life is when you grow up when you're in your 30s or in your like late 20s. And like I said, I loved Happy Place. I read Happy Place. I reread Happy Place before starting Funny Story. And I feel like Funny Story really just like focused more about like individual growth as well as being okay with starting fresh, and you know, like it's just like a perspective kind of a thing. And I feel like this book really does talk more about individual growth, and I just love that. And then like in Happy Place, it talks about friendship a lot more, and it just like spoke to me in a way that not a lot of books does, you know. And so like that's why I love Emily Henry's books. And I'm rambling on about it because I will never shut up about how much I love her books and her writing. I feel like every time we pick up a new Emily Henry book, she just gets better and better, and I just love that. And so with that being said, I gave this book a 4.5 stars. It didn't quite give me the 5-star feelings like Happy Place did, but this is a close contender. This is a 4.5 stars. I loved it, and yeah. On to the next read, I guess. It is time for a new read, and I was looking at my bookshelf, and I think I found my next read, and it's going to be Reckless by Elsie Silver. We'll be continuing Reckless, which is part of the Chestnut Spring series. I did finish reading Powerless. See, I'm getting it mixed up. I did finish Powerless a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week that I finished Powerless. I forget. But I'm going to pick up Reckless next. And yeah, I'll see how that goes. And then next up, this is my newly found favorite romance book, and it is Reckless by Elsie Silver. I love it. Theo Silva, excuse me, hello. The epitome of book boyfriends. That's the bar. Theo Silva is the bar. Like, he is the epitome of book boyfriends. He's the whole thing, like the whole thing. I do realize something that while I was reading this book and also being reminded of some other book boyfriends, such as hold on, let me just peek a little bit on my bookshelf. Okay, for example, Kai from Powerless and Theo Silva from Reckless. I feel like, oh, by the way, this is Powerless by Lauren Roberts, not Elsie Silver, so I don't want to get that mixed up. But Kai and Theo are one of those characters who are just like cocky and they're just like always messing around, and I don't know, I feel like I tend to fall for guys like that, and I'm like, okay, I feel like I really do like that parts of the character. Like, I don't know why I do, but I'm telling you guys, like, Theo Silva is literally the sweetest guy ever. Like, the way that he was just like always trying to be there, just be present, and just wanting to help Winter. It was just, oh my gosh. It was a really great reading experience. 5 stars, because you just had to be there. You just had to read this book. It is my favorite book out of the whole entire series. Well, actually, I haven't read Hopeless yet, so, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to be my favorite out of all the books of the series. So this is the second book, and let's move on to the next book. The next book was one of the books that I really wanted to read because everybody was talking about this book, and that is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, or Poston. I'm not so sure how to pronounce her last name, but The 7-Year Slip. Oh my goodness. The lines in this book was so good. I remember just like annotating a lot, and I mean a lot, of this book, because the words was just like unlike none other. This is the first book I've ever read by this author. I haven't really read The Dead Romantics yet, and I'm kind of intrigued. Like, should I read that book? And then she's also coming out with a new book called A Novel Love Story, I think. I feel like this is like a literary fiction romance with a subplot of magical realism in it. Because if you guys didn't know, this book is about a time-traveling apartment. So where the main character lives in her past aunt's apartment, and for some intricate reason we don't know, in intricate times, she will come into the apartment, and then it'll transport her back 7 years, where she meets this guy Iwan from 7 years ago. Reading update. Wait, this is matching with my shirt. Okay, that's good. It says New York, and it said in New York. Okay. I need to stop geeking over the smallest little things. This is not cute. Anyways, I got to page 200 last night, and I kid you not, it got so good. So good. I think in the beginning it was very, very boring. For me, I thought it was just so boring because here's the thing. I love reading books. I love scenario details. I love details of the settings where they're at. I love it when they talk about the things they're doing, but not in details. I don't know what happened, but it went a little bit too detailed on the things that happened in the apartment, about the apartment, the setting, and the things that we were doing, and I just didn't really care in the beginning. But I think I got to page 170-ish, I think. I think it was around page 170 or 160. It's when it start getting so good and we're getting context as to what happened between the two main characters. And y'all, I cannot explain. But every time the main character Clementine, her name is Clementine, but her nickname is Lemon, and it's so cute. Every time Clementine talks about the apartment, on the top of my head, Nikki's The Apartment We Won't Share starts playing in my mind, and I'm just like, this is the perfect song to go with this book. That is the song for this book. I'm getting overly hyped up about this. I don't even know why. But I loved reading the last 30 pages that I've read. I'm gonna say like from page 170 to 200, that's when it started getting so good. And I'm gonna read you guys a quote. It said, "I met you in my time and you're so different. I wanted to tell him, pressing my face into his chest, but I doubt he'd believe me. I don't know why you changed. I don't know how, and quieter. I don't know you at all." It was so sad. And then the next line, the male main character says, "You're such a sight for sore eyes." And that just made me giggle like a little kid. Like, come on. It literally had me almost sobbing. Not sobbing, that's kind of a little bit too dramatic, but you get what I mean. I was like like a single, like I'm tearing up a bit, and then like out of nowhere this cute little quote comes in. "You're such a sight for the sore eyes." Like, who says that anymore? Who says that anymore? It's so cute. I'm literally loving this book so much. Wait, I want to find another quote. Oh, I love this one. "He smelled like dish soap and lavender, and it took every willful bone in my body not to melt into him like ice cream on the pavement in summer." Hello, excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading this book before I completely lose my senses. I still can't get over how cute this looks together. I'm gonna make an Instagram post of this. Now, moving on to my current read. I am currently reading, and when I say currently reading, I'm still in the process of reading this book for the last couple of weeks, because again, as I said, I took a break because I had to do my thesis, and therefore I am slowly but surely reading this book. And now that I have more time, well, not really right now at the moment, but I'm going to have more time next month, so it is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I kid you not, when this book came in my book mail, I was so excited, like so excited. And so when I finished the 7-year slip, I was like, okay, I need to start this book immediately. And I did. And so far, I'm loving it. If you guys didn't know already, this is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. It's following two main characters, Justin and Emma, who feel like they have a curse on them where they break up with their respective partners, and then when they break up, their respective partners will go off to find the love of their lives, where they ultimately will get married to the love of their lives. To try to cancel out the curse, basically Justin and Emma decided to fake date, and so they have this pact and that they were going to go on 4 dates, and then after 4 dates they're going to break up and cancel out the curse that is placed upon them. And just loving this book. And honestly, this cover, so cute, so pretty, so summery, and so fun. The inside though, the story though, yo, one part of this book actually hit me like a ton of brick the other night, where I just cried when I was reading. I was crying. I was literally crying. And yeah, needless to say, I'm having a great time reading this book, and I think you guys should too. So, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, I'm loving it. I feel like if I were to predict my star rating, I think I would give it a 4.25. It hasn't matched up the 5-star that I gave yours truly, but who knows? We're probably getting there, because I also had the same feeling when I started yours truly. I was like, oh, I think I'm just gonna give this book a 4 stars, maybe a 4.5, but in the end it hit me, and I was like, what was I even thinking? what was I even thinking? So there's that. Those are some of my bookish updates. Oh, and also, if I haven't said this in a vlog, but I just dyed my hair. It's a little bit darker. I don't think you can see it on camera, but this is actually, it's not black, okay? I did not dye it black. It is a little bit brunette, but like with a touch of auburn in it. So like, you know, I wanted to dye my hair in auburn, but then I felt like, you know, I'll be just going around in circles because I did dye my hair red 2 years ago. So like, the color is just not gonna look cute. So anyways, I dyed it darker and I kind of like it now. I've washed it prior to this video, so like I did washed it yesterday, so the color has like died down a bit. So like, I don't know.
Open up a bottle.